You're not nice because you're a good person. You do it because you want approval of others. You think these people are nice because they want to be? These people have adapted to trauma this way. I'll explain. This child grew up in a household where love was conditional or unpredictable. They grew up not knowing what they have to do to attain the love of their parents. When this child attempted to express their true feelings and their authentic self, such as anger, voicing their opinions, or dismay at certain things, the parent would have shown anger, punishment, rejection, or withdrawal from the child. This caused a child to choose between two options: either be their authentic self or choose survival, that is, choosing to keep this attachment alive in whatever way possible. The child learns unconsciously that to survive, they must please this figure. This means that the child learns my feelings are not important, the feelings of others are. I have to be what they want me to be, not what I want to be. This creates an anxious and disorganized attachment style, where the child has to choose between two options: remain their true authentic self, that is full of joy, jubilation, and authenticity, or choose to survive, that is bearing their authentic self and doing whatever possible to please their parents. Neurologically, the child's amygdala experiences chronic hyperactivation. This means that it's always scanning for disapproval in its outside world, resulting in an underdeveloped self-agency circuits in the child's brain. These make you feel in charge of your own decisions. Childhood trauma weakens these areas, and the child learns that in order to survive, this voice must be silenced, and seeking the approval and opinion of others is more important to survive. From a Jungian perspective, the child learned that in order to survive, a mask had to be worn, a persona. This was an attempt by the child to avoid facing punishment, disappointment, guilt, shame, and not receiving the love they craved. These feelings and emotions of anger, desire, and boundaries don't disappear. They get repressed in a deep chamber inside the child's psyche, an area called the shadow. That is where all repressed emotions are buried. So these young children grow up to be people who are unseen, unheard, and misunderstood. Despite these repressed emotions, they keep on this persona of being nice, seeking validation, which may never materialize. One can only imagine how exhausting it must be for the child's nervous system. This chronic pleasing of people activates the fawn system. The nervous system returns back to that child who sacrificed their authenticity for survival to avoid being abandoned. Since the child's brain is wired around this pattern, they always find themselves around people who are unemotionally unavailable in an attempt to gain and win their love, as it represents their perceived safety pattern. And once again, that wound from childhood is reopened. Now, to change this, you must recognize and accept the fact that you have this condition, and you're not to blame. You were a child placed in an environment where you had to do everything in order to survive. This caused you to develop these attachment patterns, which are still operating. Now you must go back to childhood and reclaim those repressed emotions, such as anger, authenticity, autonomy, your voice. It's important that you find someone who can help you with co-regulating these attachment styles. This can be done with a psychologist, therapist, or anyone you trust. This prevents judgment and allows you to rewire these attachment styles in a safe and healthy manner.
This is why somatic therapy is so important and so vital when you're going through this stage, because it helps you unlock these areas that have trauma contained within them, such as the shoulders and the hips, particularly the psoas muscle, which has been proven to hold a lot of childhood trauma. You must also start placing boundaries for yourself and others. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. And if others don't agree with it, if you're busy and they can't see or recognize or understand your emotions, then these people aren't your friends. Learn to love yourself, because when you do so, the real people will enter your life. Be kind, not nice. Being liked by others but resenting yourself. How does that feel? I'm sure you know that feeling. not seek loving yourself instead and listening to those emotions and feelings that haven't seen sunshine since you were a child. Recognize that you are worthy, regardless of external validation. I encourage you to go deep within and try to find yourself. It's not an easy journey, but it's a step towards wholeness.